Do you want to feel better, have more energy, and be your best and healthiest self? We want the same for you, and that's why your friends at the Total You Show are connecting with top industry experts to deliver the best information to you right where you are. Please welcome your host from the Total You Show.
Hi all, this is episode 4 of season 3 of the Total You Show. I am Linda Bailey, and today we are going to talk about coaches. Not the kind in athletics, but the kind that can talk to you about health or life issues. Do you know what this type of coach is or what they do? I'm sure you've heard of health and life coaches, but what are they really? Have you ever wondered if maybe you need one, but don't really know or understand what they do? And maybe you're experiencing a health issue or a situation in your life you don't want to experience anymore, but don't really know how to change things. Maybe what you're doing isn't working and you want some advice on what might work better. Or maybe you've gone as far as you can on your own and you want to take things a step further. These are the types of issues health and life coaches can help with. And one big area that these types of coaches help with is to help others cope better with stress. We could all use that right now, huh? We all have experienced stress mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And basically, stress affects all areas of life, but there are areas known as the Big Five that mirror back to us whether or not we're being the most balanced and truest version of ourselves. And these Big Five areas are health, money, love and relationships, career or what your calling is, and our connection to that which is greater. So if one area is out of whack, it affects all the other areas. So stress can affect all of these. So for example, if your health isn't great, it could affect your relationship with your kids, your spouse. Maybe you don't or can't, you're not physically able to go outside and play with your kids at the park. Or maybe you don't have any energy for anybody. If you don't feel good, and you barely can keep yourself going, it's hard to fit time in or have energy for anyone else. So another example would be if you aren't happy with your job or your career, that can also impact your health. You can get stressed, so you come home after work, you just don't feel like planning a nice meal, so you just grab something to go, which may not be as healthy. Or maybe to escape your bad feelings, you decide to shop. And maybe you do it more than you should, just as an escape. That can actually affect your finances, which again affects a lot of other areas of your life. Or maybe you just had a child and you're struggling with trying to keep everything going. You're tired, but you still have to get up, you have to go to work. That can affect your relationship with your husband, your wife. It could affect your work performance because you're so tired. So see how one area starts to affect all the others? One last example, what if you're in a relationship that isn't healthy? Maybe you start to feel sick, and that affects your job performance, your health, and your career. So again, one area that is stressful can affect all the other areas. Everything is intertwined. So in health or life coaching, it's all about balance. You may think health coaching is mainly about trying to help someone get healthy or lose weight, and it is. That's definitely a part of it, but that's not all. Health may be the biggest factor in transforming someone because it's really hard to make big changes in life when you don't have energy or feel good. But a lot of times in a coaching session, other things in life come out. So maybe you started talking to a health coach to help you with digestive issues or maybe deal with fatigue or pain. But while you were talking about all that, other life things come up. And maybe now it's about how to get to the next stage of your career, but you're so tired that you don't have the energy to do what it may take to get to the next level. So this is where life coaching also comes into play. So when you're considering looking for a coach, you want to look for someone who can help you with both health and life issues. They're all intertwined. Health and life coaches can help you take a step back and see what is draining your energy. Maybe they look at your sleep habits. Maybe they look at your diet. Who knows what may come up? But they ask questions and look at everything as a whole, because again, everything's connected. So looking at everything encompasses who, what, where, when, why, and how. So we need to approach food, body, health, and life from these 6 questions. So think about, why do we eat? How does what we eat work or maybe not work in our body? Think of what to eat, how we are doing in life. So who are we when we eat? Health and life coaching looks at all of these things and considers our identity and our beliefs in relation to everything else. So an example of this is, how are we making sure we have healthy food at home or on the go, but also what environment are we eating our food in? How can we have healthy environments that support us? So if you had someone who could help you through some of these issues, how would that make you feel? These are just a few examples of ways health and life coaches may be able to help you by helping you get to the deeper reasons why you may want something. They may have to ask you a series of questions to help you get to the bottom of your situation, but they're just trying to give you what you came to them for. And it may be intimidating, it might be stressful, it might even be scary to talk about some of these things and how you feel about them, but a coach can help you come from a place of curiosity instead of judgment about yourself because you're in a certain situation. So a coach can help you uncover the real reasons behind how you got in the situation you're in or experiencing what you are and what you can do about it. We get to a point of talking about our desires. A lot of times we don't let ourselves think about desires, but when you work with a health and life coach, you can get into some personal reflection about what you're experiencing and what your true desires are and make a plan on how to get to that point. We all have desires. We all feel things in life are either or a lot of times we feel like it's that way. Like, I could have either a career or have a family. Sometimes we need help in transitioning from that type of thinking. So instead of an either or mentality, what if we think of we could have both and more? So you can actually achieve both things and win. What a concept that would be. So think about that. Are you stuck in an either or mentality where you feel you can only, do or have one thing or the other? And maybe either way you're going to lose? I mean, if so, wouldn't it be a powerful thing if you could work with someone to help you transform your way of thinking? So when we're in an either or setup, we deny our desires. Some may feel this way because they haven't achieved something. So maybe they feel they can't get what they desire until they get to a certain income level or a certain status. Some may think it's just too hard to achieve their desires. Maybe you think you're too old, it's too late, or you're already set in your ways for you to get what you want. Do you go around saying I'm fine all the time? Sometimes fine is very limiting because we don't allow ourselves more good things in life. Instead of going after those good things, we say, no, I'm fine. So does that ring a bell? Did you know one of the greatest things about being human and having a brain is we can grow, learn, and change. We can make our lives better. It doesn't mean we're ungrateful for what we currently have, but sometimes we deny ourselves desires because we're afraid of wanting more, and we're afraid that wanting more is saying what we have isn't good enough or that we'll appear greedy. So we all at some point have worried about what others think of us. What if we voiced our true desires to someone? What will they think? And it can be painful to think you can't get what you really want or feel like you won't ever get to have it. And when that happens, you close off opportunities to connect and to feel alive. So health coaches can help you connect to what you really want and to see what you may have been suppressing. They can give you permission to start planning for what you want and can even help you feel powerful and capable of creating anything you want in life and give you accountability. So when you first hire a coach, you may not have the conviction that you can have or achieve your desires, but that's one reason to hire a coach. They have that conviction for you, and they help you get to a point where you eventually have it too. And that's really powerful. If you felt you could achieve your desires, how would it make you feel? Would you feel more powerful, alive, and maybe even energetic? One last point, a health and life coach is not about fixing someone. People don't need fixing. They aren't broken, they're not helpless, they're not powerless, but it's about showing someone that they have the power to help themselves. That's what a good health and life coach can do for you. So if you've been listening to this podcast and feel that a health or life coach is something that really rings true for you, you may want to consider hiring a health and life coach. I currently am working on my certification as a health and life coach, and I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. If you want somebody immediately, I can give you some referrals. You can always reach out to me, though. That'd be info@totaluhealth.org, and U is spelled Y-O-U. But you can reach out with any questions, thoughts, comments, and I can connect with you and hopefully give you some pointers. So hopefully you guys have learned a little bit about what a health and life coach is, what they do, and how they might be able to help you. So again, I would love to hear your comments on this, any questions that you may have. For now, that is all for the Total You Show on this episode, but stay tuned every Tuesday at 8 p.m. to hear another topic of interest. And until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.
That's all for this episode of the Total You Show. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, podcast, follow us on social media, and tune in to next week's episode. Helping you achieve the healthiest version of you, that's Total You.